Rasapuram Krishnaswamy Narayanaswamy, best known as RK Narayan, is one of the most distinguished Indian novelists writing in English. He played a pivotal role in shaping Indian English literature. His simple yet elegant prose and deeply rooted Indian themes made his works accessible, not just to Indian audiences, but to readers worldwide. Born in a Tamil Brahmin family on October 10, 1906, in Madras, now Chennai, India, his literary career is marked by a unique blend of Indian culture and English narrative style, which has made him a significant figure in Indian English literature. RK Narayan began his literary career in the 1930s, a time when English writing in India was still in its infancy. His debut novel, Swami and Friends, introduced the world to Malgudi, a fictional South Indian town that became the setting for most of his stories. Now, the interesting thing is, Narayan faced multiple rejections from publishers, until Graham Greene, the British novelist, took an interest in his work. Greene not only helped Narayan find a publisher in England, but also became a lifelong supporter and mentor. Greene's endorsement was instrumental in launching Narayan's literary career on an international platform. Following the success of his debut novel, Narayan published several other works, including The Bachelor of Arts, The English Teacher, and The Financial Expert. His writing style is characterized by simplicity, humor, and a deep understanding of human nature. Narayan's ability to weave intricate narratives around everyday life made his stories relatable to a wide audience. Narayan's international fame skyrocketed with the publication of the novel, The Guide, in 1958. It won the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1960 and was later adapted into a successful Hindi film, starring Dev Anand. The novel tells the story of Raju, a tourist guide, who becomes a spiritual guru, exploring themes of transformation, morality, and identity. In this video we are going to analyze the summary of this novel. Let's now take a deep dive into The Guide by RK Narayan, one of his most acclaimed novels. As mentioned earlier, this 1958 novel brought Narayan international fame and helped him win the Sahitya Akademi Award. Let's look at the characters first so that we can easily cope with the narrative, although there are not so many characters. Firstly, there is Raju, the principal figure of our novel, after whom the novel is entitled. He is a tourist guide in the village Malgudi. Then there is Rosie, whom we will also know as Nalini. She is the female protagonist of the novel. And Marco, Rosie's husband. Now, these three are the main characters of the novel, around whom the story revolves. However, there are minor characters like Gaffur, the taxi driver, Raju's father, Raju's mother, Raju's uncle, and Velan. The novel is divided into 11 chapters. It opens with Raju, already in his new avatar, as a saintly figure in a small village. He sits by the river, and a simple villager, named Velan, approaches him for guidance, because he mistook Raju as a spiritual figure. And Raju reluctantly slips into the role of a holy man, half playing along, half enjoying the attention. That means, although Raju did not like conversing with Velan, he liked the attention he was given. Now, remember, the way the speaker sets up Raju's character here, is Narayan's central theme of identity. Raju is neither a fraud, nor a holy man, rather, he becomes what others want him to be. As the story progresses, we come to know how the theme of stream of consciousness works into the novel. The second chapter, which we can call Raju's early life, shifts the gear towards Raju's past. He recalls his childhood, in the village Malgudi, growing up near the railway station, where his father ran a shop, and how the railway line was set up. The new railway line changes everything. It follows how Raju takes over the shop, and becomes Railway Raju, a popular tourist guide. He tells everything to Velan, his journey from a simple boy, to a famous man known as Railway Raju, the tourist guide. Narayan here reflects on the impact of modernization in small-town India. Raju's transformation begins with this first taste of influence and manipulation of others' perceptions. After some days, Raju meets Marco and Rosie. Now, you might wonder, who are these two characters? They are a couple who came to visit Malgudi. Marco is an archaeologist, cold and intellectual person, who came to Malgudi to research the cave paintings. He does not pay much attention to his wife. He is always busy in his own work of archaeological survey, and writing journals. Rosie is his neglected wife, who is passionate about dancing. Although she is not supposed to follow her passion, under her husband Marco's guardianship. Raju is enchanted by Rosie's beauty and artistic spirit. Now, the moment Raju fell for Rosie, he went through some change of characters. He started spending much time after them, besides being just a tourist guide. And not just that, he started neglecting his shop at the railway station. Other tourists who came searching for him would be disappointed to know that he is occupied. Rosie's character here represents suppressed creativity and feminine energy, and Raju becomes the liberator, but also at the same time, the manipulator of that energy. Now that Raju and Rosie started falling for each other, Raju flatters and compliments her that she is an excellent dancer. She should follow her passion, which ironically means leaving her husband. However, with Raju's encouragement, Rosie again tries to convince her husband that she would like to start a career in classical dancing. But unfortunately she was snubbed on her face, and unintentionally revealed to her husband that she is having an affair with Raju. This led to a crisis between the husband and wife, and it became the moment of interval. Some weeks later, Marco left Rosie and departed Malgudi. Rosie came to Raju's house, where he used to live with his widowed mother. This was a moment of crisis, as Rosie, a single young woman, came to live in their house. Under Raju's encouragement and management, Rosie transforms herself into Nalini, a successful Bharatanatyam dancer. And Raju becomes her manager and agent, enjoying wealth and fame. As Raju takes on the role of Rosie's manager, he begins to manipulate her career for his gain, showcasing his moral decline. This segment emphasizes the consequences of greed and dishonesty, aligning with Narayan's broader critique of human frailty. Raju becomes increasingly possessive, insecure, and obsessed with maintaining control over Rosie's life and career. He isolates her and begins forging her signature for financial dealings. Raju's fraudulent actions eventually led to his imprisonment, marking a pivotal shift in his character arc. Narayan uses the prison as a metaphorical space for introspection, exploring themes of redemption and identity. This transition connects to Narayan's literary philosophy of finding depth in seemingly mundane experiences. Raju's moral descent is subtle but steady. Narayan paints a picture of a man who starts out helping someone, but loses himself in pride and manipulation. Nonetheless, Raju is arrested for forging Rosie's signature to hide a letter from Marco concerning her jewelry. He is sentenced to 2 years in prison, disgraced and abandoned. This is the turning point of the novel. Raju hits rock bottom. The fall from grace is both literal and symbolic. Narayan's theme of karma and self-deception plays a vital role here. Upon his release, Raju finds himself in a small village, named Mangal, where he inadvertently assumes the role of a spiritual guide. This segment reflects Narayan's interest in the intersection of the ordinary and the extraordinary, as Raju's transformation unfolds within the humble setting of rural India. And the novel starts from here, when Raju meets Velan and started telling him all about his past. However, he encounters a group of villagers including Velan, who mistook him for a holy man. Raju, desperate for acceptance and a sense of belonging, decides to embrace this new identity. He begins to live as a spiritual leader, offering guidance and wisdom to the villagers, even though he is not truly enlightened. There comes a time when the villagers turn to Raju for guidance during a drought. They believe that he has the power to bring rain through his spiritual practices. Velan and the villagers urge him to undertake a fast to bring rain. Raju, at first pretending, begins to fast. But slowly, he becomes sincere in his actions, reflecting on his life and feeling a deepening connection to the people around him. The fast continues, as the villagers pin their hopes on him. This act of self-sacrifice is both a desperate attempt to regain his lost honor and a genuine effort to help the villagers. The novel reaches its climax as Raju's fast gains symbolic significance. Narayan's portrayal of the village's faith and Raju's ambiguous fate reflects his nuanced approach to storytelling, leaving the conclusion open to interpretation. On the 12th day of the fast, Raju weakly walks to the riverbank to complete a ritual. He collapses, saying, "Velan, it's raining in the hills. I can feel it coming up under my feet, up my legs," and the novel ends here, without confirming whether it rains or whether Raju dies. This ambiguous ending is classic Narayan. It asks profound questions like, is Raju a fraud, a saint, or both? Does belief make something real, even if it starts as a lie? Can a person redeem themselves through action, not identity? The guide encapsulates many of the qualities that defined RK Narayan's literary career. His ability to transform everyday scenarios into profound narratives is evident throughout the novel. The fictional town of Malgudi serves as a microcosm of Indian society, allowing Narayan to explore universal themes with a distinctly Indian perspective. Just as he did in Swami and Friends and The English Teacher. Narayan uses humor, irony, and compassion to reveal the intricacies of human behavior and societal structures. Narayan's contemporaries, such as Raja Rao and Mulk Raj Anand, often addressed philosophical and social realism, respectively. Narayan, however, carved a niche by focusing on the moral dilemmas and transformations of ordinary individuals. In the guide, his nuanced portrayal of Raju's journey, from a morally ambiguous guide to a reluctant spiritual leader, reflects the ethical dilemmas and identity struggles that define Indian English literature's unique narrative style. If this video helped you in any ways, consider subscribing the channel. Thanks for watching.